If we can transform this into the clean girl aesthetic, you'll be the witness of a miracle. Hello, bonbons! If you're new here, hi, I'm Bonnie. In today's video, we're going to talk about the clean girl aesthetic while we do the signature makeup. What is a clean girl aesthetic? According to Google, it's a trend based on the intent to appear elegant, minimalist, and effortless. I don't think I'm really minimalist. And of course, it became popular thanks to TikTok. The clean girl makeup takes as the base and the holy grail skincare. We're gonna do 3 steps. Toner, some sort of serum. I'm using the Disappearing Acts. All the links are gonna be in the description box. And of course, moisturizer. The whole idea of this is that it looks like you don't have makeup, so you really take care of your skin. I would like to highlight that a lot of the girls that do this trend already are blessed with great genetics, so take that with a grain of salt, but that's kind of the point. And I know that if you actually like skincare, you're like, I think you're missing something, and you are right. Sunscreen. If you absolutely hate sunscreen, that you can see it, that white cast and it's greasy, this one is completely the opposite. You can see it's like completely transparent and it's not greasy and it works really nice as a primer. Let's give it a couple minutes to sink in. Is a clean girl aesthetic something new? Absolutely not, like any other trend. I will say that it's a remake of the makeup not makeup look that you probably saw on Instagram a couple of years ago. And at the time of the makeup not makeup look, that was a response to another movement that it was the prime beautiful times of makeup gurus. Some of the signature of the makeup is that it was very heavy, very structured, very defined. It was a lot about covering up imperfections, really funky makeup in general, which I highly enjoyed to watch, to be honest. So yeah, this like crazy amount of makeup gave birth to this makeup not makeup look, where it was definitely that kind of more effortless look, and that effortless look gave a little baby, which is the clean girl makeup look. However, at the same time, a lot of things in other areas that was not makeup were happening as well. So let me tell you about it, but let's start doing my makeup. We're gonna start with the eyebrows. You can definitely use like an eyebrow gel, but hair gel actually has been working really well for me and I have it there. So yeah, in other areas we saw movements here in YouTube like the perfect morning routine, the perfect night routine. Also a big shift in fashion for minimalistic things. That it might come a little bit on trends like the main character and romanticizing daily life activities, which honestly I think it's pretty cool if you enjoy doing it. I want to show you that the eyebrows, I'm not necessarily just brushing them up. It's a little bit more towards the side so they don't look that crazy. And then we're gonna let it dry so it actually stay. I'm gonna cover my blemishes with a very light concealer. As I mentioned before, a lot of the girls that do this trend already have really good skin and they pretty much cover the blemishes. It is very common that they don't wear any kind of foundation, but I've tried that before and it, my skin, it's not like the same color. I don't think almost anyone's skin is the same color, so it has a tendency to look a little bit patchy during the day, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm more of a fan of, yes, covering the blemishes a little bit and then doing a very soft foundation, even some sort of tint to even things out a little bit. I had a way better experience with that. But one thing that I found that was very nice is that I've seen clean girl makeup for acne skin. So people that have really tough acne, and instead of trying to cover up everything, it's really much focused on highlighting things that they already like their eyes, etc, etc. There's obviously some sort of coverage, but it's not as heavy as it used to be in the makeup community. This tint might be a little bit light on my skin. The whole idea is that the skin doesn't look heavy, cakey, and it's more like I'm just naturally so pretty. So it shouldn't be that much product. FYI, my sponge is a little bit wet. The whole idea of this is not to have like really dry looking skin, and it's more focused on glowing skin, hydrated, you drank a ton of water kind of deal. And that's also part of the clean girl aesthetic. Wake up, drink water, and you'll be a model. One thing that I really like about this routine, that's how it started, not necessarily how it ended up being, but it has the feeling that it's very realistic. And as soon as you had your routine, you didn't have to think about anything else, which is great, but it does have the tendency to be boring. I think I look a little bit sick. I don't actually feel great, but that's besides the point. So the tint even out the tones. So yeah, that's some sort of solution. Another solution, if you don't want to buy a tint, is like if you already have a foundation, put a little bit less of foundation and mix it with moisturizer. You're pretty much making a BB cream, and then you can use that on your face and get that glowy thing going on. I saw a lot of girls on TikTok doing this trend and doing defined contouring. I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna use a tint, but most of all because normally this really sharp contouring looks really good in photos, and it's way more exaggerated than you might think in real life. The clean girl look, clean girl look, it's more about having this natural touch. So I think it will be more efficient if we actually don't do sharp and we do a little bit more of blur. I'm running out of this. So I'm gonna put a little bit of it on my hand, and then with a contouring brush, I'm gonna try to blur it on those areas. So I'm not really doing a sharp line. It's more like bringing color to my face. So yeah, as you can see, this trend, very accessible. It kind of became of an obsession. And I guess it becomes a little bit annoying when people get too obsessed with things. And I think we can talk about that in any aspect of our lives. Modern routines that they last like freaking 5 hours, and it seems like it's perfect because they come up with like meditation and journaling, the perfect makeup and the perfect life and the perfect bed and the perfect kid that doesn't cry, and you know, all this stuff that it seems like people started to feel a lot of pressure about having this perfect life. So I think that there was definitely a period where people kind of started to reject what's happening. Why are we going so crazy into this? Some of that darker tint I'm gonna put on my eyes. I really like that because it does give some shadows and depth to the eye. Otherwise it looks pretty bland. I'm gonna use some cream blush, and as you can see, there's a lot of cream products going on. I've also seen a lot of people that do this and then they don't use powder because they don't want to make their skin so dry, and I've tried that and it doesn't work. Because during the day you're like literally melting. I mean, now I live in Chicago and I might get away with it a little bit because, you know, it's almost April and it's still snowing. Can somebody do something? But yeah, when I was living in Miami, there's no freaking way I could do that. For my ladies with donkey eyelashes, I am one of them obviously. This looks so much better. Eyebrows. Some girls don't do their eyebrows at all, but I mean, we need some help. So I'm just gonna like fill in a couple things, and the more that you can have this tail up, the better. So yeah, this super cute lifestyle kind of gave birth to showing a new lifestyle, and this one, it's way more rebellious than we have ever seen before. Actually, no, we'd seen it in the 90s, but again, you know, this is the way that it goes. The dirty girl look doesn't really sound like super great. I think they need to work a little bit on that marketing. And I do think that the clean girl look, it's kind of weird because it just sounds like you take showers, and it's like, right? The eyeliner, it's kind of like the only thing that clean girls are able to do. A lot of them, they do it with eyeshadow, but I'm just gonna do it with the same thing because it's supposed to be so small, right? I know that normally in these tutorials people don't use like two products for different things, but Jesus, it works. We don't want to take that shininess away, so we're not gonna bake. We kind of need to set it so we don't sweat out the thing, right? So yeah, the dirty girl look. So the dirty girl look, it's you know, kind of like a rebellion phase of the clean look, which I'm all about being a rebel. And obviously I'm not a minimalistic. You have seen my other videos. In this case, it's girls that are more maybe like more like a party girl or messiness, so it's pretty much like the opposite of this. Also, some people call it the marinade look, which I think it won't stick, but it is a better name. You can find videos on TikTok of girls that like, this is what happened after a party, this like absolute messiness. I'm going to do brown lashes. There's no glowing skin, it's more like I just came back from the rave and I look like I haven't slept in 1,000 years. which I think is obviously kind of like a circle, will takes you back to when things get into the extreme. So I actually really like the clean girl look. I think it's very useful for everyday life and a little bit less complicated. I do not like when people take it to the extreme, like a military regiment, and you're not allowed for creativity. Then the dirty girl look, I love it. I also love that people look like they have more personalities, a life, and they're having fun and they're being crazy. I love that too. But then when it's like going to the extreme, like, yeah, I like going to parties, but not like every day. That sounds pretty stressful too. Let's do highlights. My absolute signature, because we cannot live without. I didn't contour my nose today, which feels like a little bit rebellious for me. Of blush. A lot of my conclusions when I talk about these trends is that just take the part that works for you. These Laura Mercier lipsticks are very soft. They're not gonna last you all day, and you're definitely gonna need to like reuse them. But I think that for this particular aesthetic, it's just perfect, because normally you don't want them to be too shiny and you don't want it to be too matte. So I think I want to do this one today. I'll leave it in the description box, but the packaging, it's so clean and aesthetic. I really like it. I think they're beautiful. Very soft. Almost wearing nothing. Ooh, this is dark. But I know these are very light, so let's see what happens. Yeah, you see, it's like so light. I think it looks more intense in camera, like it looks in real life. If you like coconut, this thing, the clean hair look, because I look a little bit like clean girl bohemian, and this is probably what it will happen in regular life, but since we're doing the video, we might as well go a little bit extra. Then I tried to tame the beast, trying to brush it. This is intense. I look like a cult leader. I'm pretty much going to take 2 pieces, and then we're gonna use this. I think I'm going to make a bun. My hair has too much personality. So it's not supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like this. This is gonna be so clean. I mean, that hair thing made me sweat. Okay, so I do think that this is absolutely perfect. Dude, I think it's like a really cool idea to like embrace the natural, looking pretty and beautiful, as long as you don't become a psycho. I think that's completely fine. If you like this video, you want me to do more, give it a like so I know that you liked it. Of course, a comment will give extra points, but I like. It gives me a good signal. I will highly suggest my bonbon. To check this video if you want to be highly entertained, or to check this video if you want to learn something new. See you tomorrow, bonbon. If you made it this far, let me know if you're more of a dirty girl or a clean girl.